The mystery crossing our solar system. In recent months, an intriguing story has been circulating in the most curious corners of the internet, involving one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs, Elon Musk, and a mysterious object known as 3I Atlas. What began as astronomical speculation has quickly turned into one of the most debated topics on social media, raising questions about scientific transparency, space threats, and what is truly happening beyond our atmosphere. To fully understand this fascinating story, we need to go back in time and explore not only what we know about interstellar objects, but also why NASA's alleged silence and the comments attributed to Elon Musk are causing such a stir. What are interstellar objects? Before diving into the specific case of 3I Atlas, it's important to understand what makes interstellar objects so special. Our solar system is filled with asteroids, comets, and other celestial bodies that have been orbiting the sun for billions of years. These objects were born alongside our planetary system and follow predictable paths around our star. Interstellar objects, however, are entirely different. They originate from other stellar systems, traveling through the vacuum of space for millions or even billions of years before passing through our cosmic neighborhood. They are like visitors from other worlds, carrying information about places we may never reach. The first confirmed interstellar object was Oumuamua, detected in October 2017. Its Hawaiian name means messenger who arrives first from afar, and it certainly lived up to that title. With its unusual, elongated cigar-like shape and confirmed hyperbolic trajectory, Oumuamua challenged many of our expectations about what such objects should look like. Then came Comet Borisov in 2019, the second confirmed interstellar visitor. Unlike Oumuamua, Borisov resembled the comets we are familiar with, displaying a visible tail of gas and dust, offering scientists a valuable opportunity to study material from another stellar system. The discovery of 3I Atlas. Now we come to the protagonist of our story, 3I Atlas. According to reports circulating online, this would be the third interstellar object detected passing through our solar system. The designation 3I would indicate third interstellar, following the convention established with previous objects. The Atlas system, Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, is a real network of telescopes specifically designed to detect asteroids that could pose a threat to Earth. With telescopes in Hawaii, Chile, South Africa, and other locations, Atlas automatically scans the night sky, searching for objects moving against the backdrop of fixed stars. According to narratives gaining traction on social media, Atlas reportedly detected an object with unusual characteristics, moving along a trajectory suggestive of an interstellar origin. But this is where the story starts to become murkier and more controversial. The alleged warning from Elon Musk. Elon Musk, known for his active presence on social media and his revolutionary companies like Tesla and SpaceX, is said to have issued some form of warning or comment about 3I Atlas. Through SpaceX and its Starlink network, which places thousands of satellites in orbit and maintains constant monitoring of space, Musk has access to significant astronomical resources. The narrative suggests that Musk may have information about the object that goes beyond what is being publicly disclosed. Some reports mention concerns about the object's size, speed, or even characteristics that challenge our current understanding of natural space objects. Musk is known for making bold statements and for not shying away from questioning official narratives. He has publicly shared his opinions on topics ranging from artificial intelligence to the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Thus, it wouldn't be entirely out of character for him to voice concerns about an unusual space object. NASA's silence. Perhaps the most intriguing part of this story is NASA's alleged silence. The U.S. Space Agency is traditionally the primary source of information about astronomical discoveries and potential space threats. It operates the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies, CNEOS, and maintains detailed catalogs of all known asteroids and comets. Why would NASA remain silent about an interstellar object? Theories abound. Some suggest the agency is conducting additional observations before making a public announcement, adhering to rigorous scientific protocols. Others speculate about more sinister concerns. Perhaps the object is too large, too fast, or exhibits characteristics that could cause public panic if revealed prematurely. It's important to remember that NASA has significant responsibilities when it comes to public communication. Announcing a potential threat without conclusive data could cause unnecessary panic. On the other hand, withholding critical information for too long could be seen as a breach of public trust. Interstellar objects and their unusual characteristics. To properly assess the claims about 3I Atlas, we need to understand what makes some space objects so perplexing to scientists. Oumuamua, for instance, exhibited several anomalies that defied simple explanations. It accelerated as it exited the solar system in a way that could not be entirely explained by the sun's gravity. Some scientists suggested that jets of gas evaporating from its surface could account for this acceleration, similar to what happens with comets. However, Oumuamua showed no visible tail, as comets typically do. Its shape was also remarkable. Observations indicated it was at least 10 times longer than it was wide, a much more extreme proportion than most asteroids or comets we know. This led to fascinating speculations, including the controversial hypothesis by Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb that Oumuamua could be an artificial solar sail, essentially alien technology. If 3I Atlas truly exists and exhibits even more unusual characteristics than Oumuamua, this could explain both Musk's interest and NASA's caution. Objects that defy our existing categories always require careful analysis before conclusions can be drawn. The Global Detection Network. It's important to understand that NASA is not the only entity monitoring the sky. There is a global network of observatories, both professional and amateur, constantly watching space. The Atlas system mentioned earlier is just one part of this network. Other systems include Pan-STARRS in Hawaii, the Catalina Sky Survey in Arizona, and various European and Asian observatories. Additionally, thousands of amateur astronomers around the world keep telescopes pointed at the sky every night. This global distribution of observers makes it extremely difficult to keep secrets about objects large enough to be concerning. If 3I Atlas were indeed a significant object on a collision course or exhibiting truly alarming characteristics, it would be nearly impossible to keep that information completely hidden. However, this doesn't mean information can't be managed or that announcements can't be delayed while additional analyses are conducted. There is a difference between keeping a secret and awaiting proper scientific confirmation. Real threats from asteroids. To put this story in perspective, it's worth briefly discussing the real threats that asteroids and comets can pose. Earth is regularly bombarded by space material, but the vast majority of these objects are too small to survive passage through our atmosphere. Larger objects are rarer, but potentially devastating. The Tunguska event in 1908 in Siberia was likely caused by a 50 to 100 meter object that exploded in the atmosphere, devastating 2,000 square kilometers of forest. The 2013 Chelyabinsk event was caused by an object about 20 meters in size and injured over 1,500 people, mostly due to glass shards from windows shattered by the shockwave. The impact that wiped out the dinosaurs 66 million years ago involved an object approximately 10 kilometers in diameter. An impact of that magnitude today would cause mass extinctions and potentially end human civilization as we know it. NASA takes these threats very seriously. The agency has dedicated programs to detect, track, and ideally deflect potentially hazardous objects. The DART, Double Asteroid Redirection Test, mission recently demonstrated that we can, in fact, alter an asteroid's trajectory by crashing a spacecraft into it, a crucial proof of concept for planetary defense. Are interstellar objects more dangerous? A natural question when considering 3I Atlas is whether interstellar objects pose greater threats than asteroids or comets native to our solar system. The short answer is generally not, but with some important caveats. Interstellar objects travel much faster than native objects. They are not bound by the sun's gravity in the same way, so their speeds can be significantly higher. This means the time between detection and a potential collision would be shorter, giving us less time to react. On the other hand, space is incredibly vast, and Earth is a tiny target. The probability of a random interstellar object hitting our planet is astronomically small. Even Oumuamua, which passed through the inner solar system, never came close to Earth. Moreover, if an interstellar object were on a collision course with Earth, there would be little NASA could do to change that with current technology. Objects moving at interstellar speeds would have such high kinetic energy that they would be extremely difficult to deflect. This could explain a reluctance to cause alarm about something that would, ultimately, be unavoidable. The psychology of secrecy. There is something deeply human about our attraction to stories of government secrets and hidden information. The idea that they know something we don't taps into primal fears and fascinations. In the case of NASA and other space agencies, there are historical precedents that fuel suspicions. During the Cold War, many space discoveries and capabilities were kept secret for national security reasons. Even today, some aspects of military space programs remain classified. However, modern astronomical science is fundamentally open and collaborative. Astronomers from different countries share data, publish findings in peer-reviewed journals, and debate interpretations publicly. This environment makes large-scale conspiracies extremely unlikely. That said, there are legitimate reasons why an agency like NASA might delay an announcement. If there is uncertainty about an object's characteristics or trajectory, the agency may prefer to wait for additional observations before making public statements. Premature announcements that later need correction can damage scientific credibility and cause public confusion. Elon Musk's role in modern space discourse. Elon Musk has become a singular figure in the discourse about space and technology. Through SpaceX, he is not just an observer, but an active participant in space exploration. The company has launched over 5,000 Starlink satellites, operates regular cargo flights to the International Space Station, and is developing the Starship, designed to eventually take humans to Mars. This unique position means Musk has access to data and observation capabilities that few private entities possess. The Starlink network in particular requires constant monitoring of the space environment to avoid collisions with debris or other objects. Musk also has a history of using his social media platform to make headline-generating statements. He has tweeted about topics ranging from cryptocurrencies to artificial intelligence, often moving markets or sparking global debates with just a few words. If Musk indeed made comments about 3i Atlas, it would fit his established pattern of engaging publicly with scientific and technological issues. He is not someone who shies away from controversy and often positions himself as willing to speak difficult truths that others might avoid. Fact-checking. Here we come to a critical point. How far can we verify the claims about 3i Atlas? A search through official astronomical databases, including the Minor Planet Center, which catalogs all known asteroids and comets, and NASA's Near-Earth Object System, currently reveals no object specifically catalogued as 3i Atlas. This doesn't necessarily prove the object doesn't exist, but it suggests that if it does, it has not yet received official confirmation or designation. It's worth noting that there is a natural delay between an object's initial detection and its formal cataloging. Observations need to be confirmed, trajectories calculated, and characteristics verified before official designations are assigned. It's also worth mentioning that the Atlas system detects thousands of objects every year. The vast majority are known asteroids reobserved, or new asteroids in conventional orbits. Only a tiny fraction would be candidates for interstellar status. As for Musk's comments, it would be necessary to verify his public posts and statements to confirm whether he indeed issued any specific warning about an object called 3i Atlas. Musk is prolific on social media, but not everything attributed to him online is necessarily authentic. Disinformation in the digital age. The 3i Atlas story also serves as an interesting case study in how information and disinformation spread in the digital age. Stories about mysterious space objects, warnings from famous figures, and government silences are perfectly crafted to go viral online. These narratives combine several elements that capture human attention: a potential threat, an authoritative figure, Musk, a trusted institution acting mysteriously, NASA, and implications that could affect everyone. They are the perfect ingredients for a story people want to share. This doesn't necessarily mean the story is false, but it suggests we should approach it with healthy skepticism. Important questions to ask include: who first reported this? What are their sources? Can the information be independently verified? Is there concrete evidence or just claims? The future of interstellar object detection. Regardless of the specific truth of the 3I Atlas story, it is certain that we will detect more interstellar objects in the future. In fact, some scientists estimate that interstellar objects may be passing through the inner solar system at any given time, but we simply lack the observational capacity to detect them all. New telescopes are changing that. The Vera C. Rubin Observatory, set to begin full operations soon, will be capable of scanning the entire sky every few days, detecting objects much fainter and more distant than current systems can see. This will likely result in the discovery of many more interstellar objects. The James Webb Space Telescope, already operational, has unprecedented capabilities to study the composition and characteristics of these objects. When the next interstellar visitor is detected, we will have far better tools to understand it than we had with Oumuamua. Preparing for space threats, NASA and other space agencies take planetary defense extremely seriously. There are ongoing programs not only to detect potentially hazardous objects, but also to develop technologies that could deflect or destroy threats if necessary. The DART mission mentioned earlier was a significant step. In September 2022, a NASA spacecraft deliberately crashed into the asteroid Dimorphos, successfully changing its orbital period. It was the first time humanity intentionally altered the trajectory of a celestial body. Future missions will build on this success. Europe plans to send the Hera probe to study the DART impact site in detail, providing valuable data on how asteroids respond to kinetic impacts. Beyond physical deflection, scientists are studying other options, including gravitational tractors, using a spacecraft's gravity to gradually alter an asteroid's trajectory. Nuclear explosions in space, not to blow up the asteroid but to vaporize material on one side, creating a jet-like propulsion, and even painting asteroids to change how sunlight reflects off them, creating a small but cumulative force over time. The importance of scientific transparency. One of the underlying themes in the 3I Atlas story is the question of transparency. Does the public have a right to know about potential threats? At what point should scientific knowledge be shared? There are arguments on both sides. On one hand, in a democracy, people have a right to information that could affect their lives. Keeping secrets about space threats could be seen as unacceptable governmental paternalism. On the other hand, causing panic with incomplete or misunderstood information could do more harm than good. If there's only a small chance an object might hit Earth, but that chance is still being refined through additional observations, announcing the threat prematurely could cause significant social and economic disruption without necessity. The answer likely lies somewhere in the middle. Maximize transparency, but with proper context and clear scientific explanation. The scientific community generally operates under the principle that data and discoveries should be shared openly, allowing other scientists to verify and build upon the work. Lessons from history. History is full of moments when humanity faced existential threats, perceived or real. The Cuban Missile Crisis, false nuclear attack alarms during the Cold War, and even pandemics like COVID-19 have taught us valuable lessons about how societies respond to crises. One clear lesson is that transparent and reliable communication from competent authorities is crucial. When people feel they are being kept in the dark or misled, trust erodes, and conspiracy theories flourish. Another lesson is the importance of preparedness. Having plans in place before a crisis occurs makes a huge difference in outcomes. In the case of planetary defense, this means continuing to invest in detection and deflection capabilities, even when no immediate threat is apparent. The enduring fascination with space. Why do stories like Three-Eye Atlas capture our imagination so much? Part of the answer lies in the fundamental fascination that space holds over the human psyche. Space represents the ultimate unknown, the frontier beyond which everything is mystery and possibility. Interstellar objects, in particular, carry an aura of the exotic. They literally come from other worlds, places so distant we may never reach them, even with future technology. There is also something humbling and empowering about considering our place in the cosmos. Stories about potentially hazardous space objects remind us of our fragility, but stories about our ability to detect and potentially defend against them demonstrate our ingenuity and resilience. Separating fact from fiction. So what can we conclude about Three-Eye Atlas? Without concrete, verifiable evidence, we must remain skeptical but open-minded. It's possible there was an initial detection of an unusual object that is still being analyzed. It's possible Musk made comments in some context that were amplified or misinterpreted online. It's possible NASA is simply following standard verification procedures before making any announcement. It's also possible the entire story is a mix of speculation, misinterpretation, and exaggeration, not necessarily out of malice, but simply due to how information is processed and shared in the digital age. What we can say for certain is that the search for interstellar objects and the monitoring of space threats are real and important scientific endeavors. We live in a remarkable era where, for the first time in human history, we have the ability to detect threats from space with enough advance notice to potentially do something about them. Conclusion. The Three-Eye Atlas story, whether based on a real detection or amplified speculation, serves as an important reminder of several aspects of modern life. It highlights the speed with which information and disinformation can spread in the digital age. It demonstrates our ongoing fascination with the cosmos and our anxiety about existential threats. And it underscores the importance of scientific literacy and critical thinking when evaluating extraordinary claims. For those interested in following real discoveries about interstellar objects and space threats, reliable resources include NASA's official website, the Minor Planet Center, and peer-reviewed scientific publications. When the next interstellar object is confirmed, whether it's called Three-Eye Atlas or something else, we can be sure it will be announced through these official channels with concrete data to support the claims. In the meantime, we can appreciate both the mystery and the science. The universe is vast, strange, and full of surprises. Objects from other stellar systems do pass through our cosmic neighborhood, carrying secrets about the formation and evolution of planetary systems beyond our own. Each detection is an opportunity to learn something new about the cosmos and our place in it. The truth, as is often the case, is likely less sensational but more fascinating than the headlines suggest. And in that balance between healthy skepticism and openness to genuine wonder, we find the spirit of true scientific inquiry, always questioning, always observing, always learning.